Hey everybody, hope you're having a great day. Thanks so much for checking in to the videos that we do. And my guest today is Travis Barton. So how's it going today?
Oh, it's going. It's been an interesting day.
Yeah, it's been an interesting year.
Oh yeah, to say the least.
I guess
Nothing.
nobody expected all this, that we would go through things like this.
Nah.
And there's so much false news out there, it's hard to know what's really going on.
Yeah, I mean, you really have to choose your sources very close, like particularly and fact check and do all that fun stuff. Stuff we should be doing already, but
You know, Facebook makes things so easy, they just throw so much information at you. You have to be careful, but I
oh,
didn't
there.
know.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, they. I was just listening to a thing on NPR about how they're trying to rein in Facebook groups because they're spreading so much like false news, and like you're turning cults into, they're linking up with this one Facebook group to this one to this one to this one, but they're all run by the same person, and so but they're
Yeah,
all private, although they may have uh with several thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people, which doesn't make any sense. They shouldn't be private at that point in time. They're obviously.
yeah. So many people. Yeah, you just don't know who all they might be.
Yeah,
But so you lived in Denton quite a while, I guess.
I grew up in the area. Like I grew up in Hickory Creek.
Yeah, yeah. You worked in a lot of venues around town over the years.
You worked at Abbey and Andy's. I didn't work at Andy. Sorry, Abby and Haley's.
Aliens. I liked their stage. They had a pretty cool stage.
Oh, that was quite a fun stage to be able to perform on.
When did you first start working with bands?
Around the age of 18. A good friend of mine growing up was part of this metal band. They were kind of looking for a secondary singer, and I was like, "Dude, can I do it? can I try out?" And he goes, "Well, you got to learn how to scream first." And so him and I worked on finding a voice and finding the projection
Yeah,
and finding a scream that could really work without blowing my voice out.
yeah. So you learned vocal exercises where you can do that without hurting your voice.
I stumbled into it. I've been doing choir since I can remember,
Oh,
and so
really?
there's a lot of breathing techniques that are already involved in that, and
Yeah,
warm ups, and I'm doing theater as well because there's a lot of warm ups in that too, a lot of vocal warm ups because there's a lot of projection involved.
yeah.
It's all from sternum. It's all from down in the belly.
So I am man, I am monster. When did y'all get together with that?
That would have been like 12 years ago,
Oh,
but
really?
it's it's in its infancy stage. It was me, Riley, and Rusty, or Rusty and Riley were working together as guitarists. They trying to put a band together, and I literally ran into Rusty at a ska show. Like we were skanking, and I hit him, and he goes, "Hey man, are you still doing the metal music?" And I said, "Yeah." Asked if I wanted an audition. I said, "Sure, we can check it out." Went and checked it out, and it was pretty cool. We picked up a drummer, uh, and had a bass player that fell off, and we ended up picking up Megan and became Kill for the Kingdom. I don't know if you remember those. Remember any of that? But they were Kill for the Kingdom for about 3 or 4 years,
Oh, really?
and we went through a couple of drummers.
Yeah,
Our drummer, the first drummer we had, Colin, was just had other priorities and wanted to continue with his life, and so we were a bit more of a back burner idea, and we wanted somebody who wanted more of an upfront presence within the
yeah,
music.
yeah. A little more commitment.
Yeah, and so we lost him, and we went through a couple other drummers, and we found Al Bagley. He was fell in our laps. He was recently out of his old metal band and was looking for projects, and always seemed to like us and respected us, and so he jumped at the chance to audition.
You guys played at the Abbey a few times as I Am
Uh,
Man.
yeah, as I Am Man, I Am Monster. We played down there a couple of times as I Am Man, I Am Monster.
Were
We did
some
more.
different, did some different people join you guys to make that I Am Man, I Am Monster?
What do you mean?
I mean, was it different people or the same ones?
It was the same ones.
Same
It's
one. Yeah.
been uh, Megan, Rusty, Riley, and I were pretty much at the core of it, even through the Kill for the Kingdom days. That's why I say we've been together for 10 years. It's just the four of us have been together for 10 years. Like we started
Yeah.
12 years ago writing together, and it kind of progressed into the I Am Man, I Am Monster. We took the owl to kind of make that last cog fit right, to make that machine turn and sound the way that we really wanted it to sound, and to give us our own unique quality and kind of bring us together as people too.
Yeah. Well, I've
So
noticed y'all have a number of videos like at different clubs around here, but then y'all have that official video.
the official video for
I
My
am
Gift Your
man.
Demise.
Um, thought it was I am man. I'm not sure though, but I just remember one of them was an official video, and I was wondering who did that.
Mildly Distorted did a lot of our videos. Did all of
Yeah.
our videos really.
Oh, really?
Bane Cook and his crew do a lot of videos for people around town. If you look up Mildly Distorted on YouTube, you'll find a bunch of local bands.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, you know, all of War Baby stuff, and just anybody you can think of. They've kind of dabbled in it, picked up at shows, and just kind of been in the crowd with the camera.
Yeah.
And most of the time they do it free of cost, and it's that's really grateful. Like it's really cool to have
Yeah.
that sort of support from someone from that side of the scene.
Yeah. Yeah. That helps out a lot for sure to have videos out there. And you, I guess you knew Cody Smith, and then when he started talking about his movie, you became involved with that.
Yeah, I've known Cody for a while. I just happened to run into him at a bar, and I was his bartender at Abbey for a while, and seen him at karaoke. And he's always been talking about making films and putting stuff together. And one day he just came up to me and I was like, "Hey, I've got this idea for a movie, and I think it'd be really cool." And I was like, "Hey, I would totally be in that movie." And then a week later, he goes, "Hey, you want to come and like try out to be the lead?" I was like, "Please," because it was just, I don't know, it's cool, like to be a part of that, part of someone's dream and someone's project is
Oh yeah.
very. I took it very admirably that he wanted me to be a part of it, and I was thrilled, just absolutely thrilled.
And he had a lot of people in it, didn't he?
Yeah, it was a zombie film, so
Yeah.
we had a lot of extras and had the cast and crew from the Dark Path, the haunted house. Had a bunch of them come in and play zombies and do the makeup for us, and it was a lot of fun. It was brutal in a couple of days, but
Most of it was filmed in the Denton area.
all of it was filmed in Denton.
Yeah.
At a friend of ours' house on the north side of town, and then in the drainage ditched areas.
Yeah.
Over there by Wainwright.
Yeah. He had a premiere of that a few months ago, didn't he?
A few months ago.
A year ago, or
I think it would have been. It was late fall.
late fall.
Yeah, if I'm correct.
Yeah. Can't remember exactly, but
Like late October, I think.
yeah, he's a very creative guy. I like what he does.
Oh, absolutely. He's always got something kind of going on, and it was always a really cool thing to talk to him about his art, like the things he was drawing or the storyboards he was writing up, and something I always took to heart is that he would show them to me, because it's his art. It's really personal stuff, and
Yeah.
I don't you don't always get that privilege, and I was lucky enough to get the privilege to view his art and to be a part of like his ultimate art goal, which is make a movie. Of course, he wants to make another one, but don't tell anybody. But it's, I don't know, it's baffling to me to be a part of such artistic adventures.
Yeah, really. Like if it were some filmmaker from out of town, it would be so impersonal, but just knowing Cody and seeing him around, but with the plague, it's just changed things so much. makes it so difficult for people to get together and connect in person, and it's really
Oh
been a
yeah,
strange experience.
it's been nutty. Like I quit drinking. I'm in recovery. I'll be 6 months clean and sober on Friday tomorrow. Uh,
That's great.
Thank you. But even the whole idea they've shut down all the bars and how like low the social concept of what we're dealing with are so low that there's done a lot of like social outings that even prior to the whole COVID, I would go out to the bar to see friends because that's where they would be. And whether I was drinking or not, I'd like to go out and say hello to people. And now it's kind of hard. It's like hit or miss. It's like can't guarantee they're going to be there. Like I ran into Al the other day just by happenstance, and I'm running up and giving him a big hug, but I hadn't seen him in 4 months.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a good thing we have the internet to just stay in touch with people at least.
You're a stalk people, one or the other.
A lot of that going on, I think. But you think you guys will try to get back together pretty soon somehow?
That's probably not going to happen. It's not that it ended on bad terms. So there's some fallout there, and I just highly doubt that we'll all get back together and try and do it again. We resigned ourselves at one point in time that if anyone wanted to leave the band, we would just dismantle the band completely. And we had a member who wanted to leave, and we were all moving in different directions anyways. And so that the one who put his foot down, when he put their foot down, just signified it, and we were done. So we entered another agreement, and we stuck to it. So
Yeah.
well, we're probably won't make a reunion bit out of it ever. Well, I don't say ever, but I mean not anytime soon.
Were you involved with writing some of the songs?
We were all kind of involved in writing as a totality. We all had our own individual parts that we would write for each song. Like Al playing the drums would write his drum parts, but we would all have influence in the way it sounded or the direction we wanted to go. Like
Yeah.
we all have. I wrote 75% of the lyrics, but the 25% would come from Megan or Rusty, and it was always in even within writing the lyrics and like writing my lyrics and going and doing vocals, there was always some. So his girlfriend, she's leaving. Bye. There's always outside help from the rest of the band. Like we were all intermingled into writing what we were doing. So it may not have been like 100%. One person was writing one thing that very rarely happened. It was always a big collective.
That's
like
the best way.
Good, but
Yeah.
maybe we tried this, it'd be a little different. And like, oh well, that makes it sound this way. I was like, well, it's gonna sound this way. Then I'm gonna change the drums to just sounding like this, and it's like cool. And then it's just all kind of. It was pretty manic, and it was a wary sort of way to write. Took a lot of energy.
Yeah, it's good to co-write though, I think.
Absolutely, I think it makes it a lot more personable.
Yeah.
I think, we did the multiple vocals aspect and had Megan sing, and so I would write what I would like her to sing and give a general idea of a melody, and let her take it. And if she didn't like the lyrics, then she could write we would sit down and write something else, or she would write something, and then we'd get together and help kind of put a melody together. Like we always had our own. We had help from everybody in the band. We always had our own personal. We all had our personal instrument that we were a part of.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you written anything since then?
Not really. I've got a good friend of mine's been trying to get me to write for one of his new project, and I'm chomping at the bit to do it. I just haven't. My brain hasn't been there for it. I wrote a little bit and I just don't like it. But maybe I'm just overthinking it because I write just sporadically. It's a free thought, and so it's whatever comes to my mind. I'll just end up start writing it down, and so it becomes very clustered and muddled. But it always makes sense in my head. I'd like to get back in and get back with the band, like get back into like inside of a room with a bunch of people because it helps with creativity in my opinion.
Yeah.
Being surrounded by the music helps put me into it, so it helps bring out a feeling of what the tonality is and how it should sound. I never wanted to be the vocalist on top of the music. I always wanted to add to it, to say we wanted to create this sound, and I wanted to be a part of this sound created, not the vocals on top of that sound, because it just seems too dissonant for me. It's not something I want to be part of. Like that, there are some vocalists who are like, that's it, they're the vocalist, and like that they stick out and they stand out because that. But I want to be a part of the music and have it all flow together and be cohesive sort of project. And it's hard to take a rough studio edit and be like, I'm gonna write lyrics to it. In my opinion,
Yeah,
it's easier for me to be involved in it and like surrounded by it, like in a practice space, and so I can like wrap my head around how it feels and where it's headed.
Yeah,
it's all about the music's all about where we're going, right? It's the progression of sound or the intent of what a song is supposed to be. Like, how do we want this to be sound, or how do we want it to come out, or how we want it to end, or how we want the chorus to sound. It's always about that projection, what we want, right? And so
like,
I get a better feel of what we want when I'm surrounded by it. I don't know.
Like Ronnie James Dio, it seemed like he was just kind of really just on top of everything. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, he's fantastic vocalist and amazing frontman and a great man in metal. I don't want to be that. It's not my not how I act.
Who were some of your inspirations?
Randall D. Blythe from Lamb of God. He's got a very unique sound to him. He's got a very sharp tongue, quick wit. Yeah. And so I like the combination of the two. Like that, and you can, for the most part, you can understand him vocally.
Yeah,
he's articulate when he screams. I think that's an important thing. It's not always the easiest thing to do, but one of the biggest critiques of metal that I always hear is, I can't understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
My usual answer is you just don't know how to listen to it, because it's training your ear to listen to that sort of sound. Like, because I when I listen to pop music, I don't really I have a hard time understanding what they're saying because I'm not used to listening to it. The vocal tones and the timbre are not in my wheelhouse anymore, and so it just sounds like mumbled words.
I noticed you did the 10 album challenge on Facebook.
Yeah. That was a lot. That was a lot of fun. I got to think back some old albums I haven't listened to in a while, and remember what they were.
What were some of them that you chose?
Well, Lamb of God is Palaces Burn. No Doubt, Tragic Kingdom. Depeche Mode, Ultra. Michael Jackson's Dangerous. This is the Corsairs, which is a cappella group.
Oh, really?
They're Blue Album.
Yeah.
It was the last one.
It's an a cappella group that does metal?
No, they do pirate. They do pirate songs. They do traditional sailing shanties and drinking tunes. It's awesome. It's 6 dudes doing four-part harmony. It's so much fun.
Yeah, some history on that, I guess.
Yeah, bunch of traditional songs. They used to perform at Scarborough Fair, and I'd go see them down there. And it's just fun music to sing to. Yeah. I've got kind of a lower voice, and so a lot of the popular stuff, and even just the normal stuff I listen to is hard to sing along with because it's not my wheelhouse, not my my range easily.
Yeah. You're like a baritone.
I was a bass 2 for 4 years.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. I can hit pretty low, but I'm definitely sitting more around a baritone level right now. But
That's good for pirate. Good for pirate songs, I'm sure.
that's right. Yeah, it's good for the low end harmonies. Ooh.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you letting me ask you a few questions and
Absolutely.
sharing your thoughts and stuff. And we'll include some music. You've sent me some music, and we'll try to get the file to where we can put it into the make a full track and
Okay.
and all that. But so thank y'all so much for checking us out. Hope you enjoyed the interview, and so have a great day. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
Thank you.